We are leaving the Abacos and heading for Eleuthera.
Morning.
The sun has risen.
See what's gonna happen with the weather here. No fish though, no fish.
All right, found the ding duck. Now we're walking to the store. And still here.
Hey there, I'm Kelsey, that's Tim, and this is the story of our adventure. Life is fleeting, and we want to squeeze every bit out of it. We are wandering the world, so home is a bit of a moving target for us. We love finding the random, the remote, and sharing it all with you. So subscribe to get lost with us and hopefully find some inspiration to go after your own dreams.
Welcome back.
You are joining us on our last day in the Abaco Islands.
Yeah, the Abacos have been amazing introduction to cruising and to the Bahamas, but it was time to look at the weather and find a good time to cross to head to Eleuthera.
Yep. Good morning. It is bright and early. It's not bright. I say that all the time. It is just early. There's no brightness yet. We're waiting for the sunrise. But we are leaving the Abacos and heading for Eleuthera. So we're just doing a little jump. How many miles is it, Tim? Like 60?
It's about 55,
50?
and that's
Okay.
including, I mean, we'll be in Spanish Wells in about 50.
Yeah.
And then where we're going to want to tuck in is probably 3 more miles, something like that.
Cool. Yeah, so there's a big blow coming. So we want to get over there, get tucked into where we're going to wait that out for a few days. But yeah, just doing a jump from this set of island chain to another. So pretty exciting. How do you feel?
I'm excited. No, it's cool. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting to go to a new area
Yeah.
because the Abacos have been amazing, but like it was such a rush to get here. We were out of our mind.
Yeah.
And then boom, day one, we had guests for a week. It was exhausting. And then when they left, we both got sick and we're still a little bit not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
So it's just fun. It's like a mental reset to go, okay.
This is our place, yeah.
I don't know what's there. You know, I don't know what to expect. And so it feels like fresh.
Yeah. And we do have a neighbor that we talked to last night, and they're going to jump this morning as well. So we'll be out there with at least one other boat.
Can you check the telltales? Can you see them on the jib? Morning. We are cruising along at like 6 knots. We got one engine on, 1600 RPMs. So we got some wind. It was supposed to turn around this morning and be behind us for a downwind sail. Did not do that.
Not yet.
It's decided not to do that yet. So yeah, we'll see if it does later. But we're just sort of bashing into it. They're not bad, but compared to the Abaco Sea, it's funny. You're hee-hawing along.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can never reach like top speed for the wind because with the waves, once you get going like we are right now, it kills all your speed. So it's funny how spoiled we got with glassy-ish water.
Totally.
And with even a light amount of wind, you can get going 6-7 knots. Now we get up to 6.5, and then we do that.
And it
Go to
kills
5.
everything.
Yeah. So, but beautiful morning. And yeah, excited to be headed off to another.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
The sun has risen, but it wasn't a very good sunrise because it's pretty just like foggy, so you can just see that it is light, but there wasn't much of a good show this morning. I just threw out the hand lines. I almost forgot to do that, so I just did that. So cross your fingers that we catch something.
See what's gonna happen with the weather here. Right now the wind is we're doing 30 degrees, which is pinching it pretty good for a catamaran or even a monohull, I think.
Yeah.
And so we're still doing 4.5 on sail power, but that puts us there late enough in the day that we got the engine on still at about 1700 RPM, so we can do an extra knot and a half.
And we can use the charge because it's been kind of cloudy for several days, so
And I'd like to make
not a
more
bad
water.
thing. Yeah, we need to make some water, so running the engine actually is okay, even though I don't like to do it.
Okay, so we've got 9.5 miles to Spanish Wells, and there's a cut that goes right into the city versus going around the whole island to the sort of western side, that would be. And some of the people's reviews say to get a pilot just to go through it. So we talked to a few people who've just done it and have done it in years past, and they say absolutely not. It's easy. If you have charts, just follow your charts. So it's always nice to have real world feedback, because we found the same in off-roading. Somebody will say a trail or a country or a border crossing is absolutely terrible, and so much of it is personal perspective and mood and all that and experience. And so we would almost never find our experience lined up with what people had written. So it's kind of good to hear that at least this cut and the Devil's Backbone, which is another one that's kind of notorious name anyways, are easy per some friends and people we just met the last anchorage, as long as you just follow charts. So yeah, excited to almost be there. We still have an engine on. It's been one of those motor sailing days, but we've kept the engine RPMs really low to save fuel.
43, Empire Sun 43, Empire Sun.
And so 1,800 RPMs, and we're doing 7 knots, 7.5 at times, even 8. So we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we could probably shut off engines here in a minute, although we'll be turning back on in a couple miles for the cut, because I never like going through a cut with engines off. So yeah, but it's been a great sail. No fish though, no fish, sadly.
All right, well, we're almost there, like Tim said, and we had great wind until it just died, and it's just rolly enough that with no wind, the sails are just going all over the place. So we finally just dropped sails, and we're motoring in the last couple miles into this cut, and yeah, figure out where to anchor, hang out for this big blow that's coming. So this is kind of a narrow cut, and there is a shipwreck in the channel, so I'm just sitting up here. Tim has all the charts so you can see everything, but I'm just kind of visually looking and making sure we're seeing everything. So it's not too sketchy, but it wouldn't be fun if it was bad weather or low tide. A lot of narrow little bits that we gotta get through.
Well, we made it safely. We dropped anchor, and although we were ready to call it a day, we were really tired. It was time to do some errands.
Yeah, absolutely. Spanish Wells is the biggest city we were going to see in quite some time, so we knew it was time to do everything we could to provision up.
Yep, so we rallied and lowered Mick into the water.
Alright, so we are going into Spanish Wells because there's a decent-sized grocery store here, and it's going to be one of the last big grocery stores that we've seen for quite a while. So tomorrow is supposed to be kind of stormy, so we figured if we anchored, let's go in, see what they have for groceries. I think it'll be sparse because the delivery is on Wednesday, and it is a Monday right now. So it'll probably be a bit picked through, but we're doing pretty good on everything except fresh produce and maybe some eggs. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We'll see what the grocery store looks like. All right, found the dinghy dock. Now we're walking to the store.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the different plants and stuff. This feels a lot more tropical. Yes, we're further south, but not by a ton.
Yeah.
But already feels much more Central American in plants, buildings.
Humidity.
What's that?
Humidity. We made it to the grocery store. So they did not have a lot of stock as we expected, but we don't need a lot. So we got a couple of fresh veggies and eggs, basically, is all we got.
And by fresh veggies, I mean 1 week old.
Not the freshest,
No, but they weren't. I mean, we're used to in the truck travels. Basically, all the veggies you buy have like a bump or a brown spot or some fuzz, and you just cut that off and eat it. So, in that regard, it was great.
Yeah.
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 It just you are down to you got the final zucchini.
Yeah.
And I took 3 of the last 5 squash. And then I think it's the day after tomorrow, the food boat comes. And I'm sure it's a very popular day to go to the market.
Yeah,
Probably packed.
sure, yeah. But yeah, we don't need a lot, so
Yep.
we're doing all right. Fishing boat. This house is for sale if anybody wants to buy it. And still here. Nah. Alright, back to Goose. With a few eggs and a few veggies. And we are exhausted because sailing is tiring. And we didn't sleep good last night.
No, anytime before a sail that where you, like, there's a time crunch, I think, too.
Yeah.
Not really a big time crunch, 55 miles. But we're seeing storms possibly going to hit us midday. A lot of reasons to try and go quickly. So neither of us slept good. And then we did have a great sail.
Yeah.
But I just wish it was a pure sail. We had an engine on the whole time, just keeping us going because we were pinching into the wind and it wasn't much of it. But this is cool. I mean, this is definitely Hopetown and the Abacos got hit so badly
Yeah.
that everything was brand new. Everything, basically. And then here, this feels like it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
This feels like a foreign country, whereas the Abacos kind of did, but something about the newness
Yeah.
made it feel different.
Yep.
And it was, 90% gringos,
Yeah.
or tourists, or whatever.
Yeah.
Americans, Europeans.
Yep.
This feels like there's a lot more locals.
Yeah. Definitely. Although we didn't get much from the grocery store, we did have the pleasure of seeing this Batmobile golf cart.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've gotten pretty used to traveling in the truck all these years of little tiny supermarkets or little tiny markets that are not super, and they have very few veggies in it, and so you just buy whatever they have and you find a way to make do.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun to be creative with whatever you have, and you end up learning a lot of new ways to use things, actually.
That's for sure.
At the larger stores like this one, you really can find most everything you need. Of course, it has a price.
That's for
Everything's
sure.
pretty expensive.
Yeah, so even if the vegetables are pretty much picked through, there's a lot of dry goods and meat and stuff like that, but thankfully we still had so much from all of our Costco shopping in the States that we really didn't need anything like that, and we've been catching so much fish, we haven't touched our meat, except for like once a week as a novelty, we'll have something other than fish.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways, that does it for this week. Next week we were thinking about showing you guys an updated boat tour, so please let us know what questions you have about the boat, about the setup, etc., so we can be sure to cover those.
Yep, and as always, thank you guys for coming along, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
There's a giant charter cat that just went by, and they ran into some rocks, it looks like.
All the stereotypes about charter cats. Obviously, like, you know, we probably would have gone and chartered a cat, so obviously there's going to be a variety of people doing them, but so far, if something's crazy happening, it is with a charter cat.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the people that know what they're doing in charter a mono or a cat, you know, there's a ton, I'm sure. But if you're in an anchorage and something crazy is happening, it's definitely a charter cat. And so this one just came by. It's probably a 60-foot lagoon. It's got 15 people on it. And there's some rocks in front of us. So we dropped our anchor just up there and backed off of it to make sure we didn't, you know, swing over the top of a bunch of rocks at low tide. It must be pretty close to low tide, and we just heard them hit hard. So.
And they're going over more rocks right now, so.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I mean, the draft on that, you know, I'm sure they saw all these cats and went, oh, we're a cat, we can be up there too, but I don't think they took a 60-foot lagoon's draft into account. Or low tide.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting. Please don't anchor in front of us.